Hello and welcome to this disaster of a live show. I'm so sorry for the time changes, for everything that's just gone crazy here in the studio. I was trying to be on time. Oh, now I've done that. Sorry. Anyway, we're here now, and I appreciate you for joining me. 31 people already. That's fantastic. I really appreciate it. I had practiced and I had done everything that I could have, but we are here now, and let's get rocking and rolling with our very first live stream. Hello to everybody. Thank you for joining. Yes, the mistake was made. Now let's move on and let's have some fun. Now, what I have decided to do, and let me just shrink myself back into my usual spot here. Back, beast, back. Get thee into a corner. Hive thee to a nunnery, you. All right, so now I'm in the right place. And you should see me now in the right spot, hopefully. So, yes, we're sharing your live stream to a Facebook group. Well, fantastic. Hopefully we get some more viewers there. If they want to vote and help direct things, we can absolutely try and get their votes across. I see the audio is a little bit low. I've increased that. How does that sound now if I sit in the proper place? Does that work better for you? Hopefully. Let's sort of see. Hello from Canada. Hello, Canada. Hi, Facebook. No worries. You're a little quieter than normal for some reason. Any chance you can turn up the gain? I have done that. Let's see if we bring this down a little bit. How about that? You sound good to me. Okay, all right, there we go. Sounds better. Fantastic. Okay, so today we've got 2 hours. We're a little bit less now because of my mistakes, but anyway. All right, so we are here. I've got the gain on the microphone now up to maximum. Is that better? Is that fab? That's fab. Sounds good. Great. Okay, moving on. We're going to be going through book 6 of the Fabled Lands, Lords of the Rising Sun. Now, why book 6 in particular? Well, there's a reason for that. We're not going to get there with good old Carrick. I don't think he's going to get there anytime soon anyway. And I thought it would be a lot of fun. So let's move forward as we start our journey on this book. Now, the first thing we've got to do, of course, we've got to choose our class. So this is the very first thing that you guys are going to get to vote on. So if you're not familiar with the classes in Fabled Lands, and I suspect that many of you are, but maybe you're not, and it's not a bad thing, is we've basically got a priest whose focus is more on charisma and I think there's a typo here. In this book, the priest is listed as having charisma 6 and scouting 6 with a sanctity of 8. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm being preemptive here. So the priest is charismatic, a good sort of scouter, good with magic, good with sanctity. And we've got the mage. The mage is good with magic and with scouting, and thievery is not too bad. We've got the rogue, who's very charismatic, very combat focused, very magic focused, very scout focused, but is very poor on sanctity. So no religion there whatsoever. We've got the troubadour, who's got a good charisma, fairly average stats across the board for everything else, and then thievery 6. We've got the warrior, of course, good good combat, good sanctity, very pious, but and good scouting, but nothing very much anywhere else. And of course, we've got the wayfarer, who's very good at combat and very good at scouting and thievery, but not much else. So time is up to you. Vote now. What are we playing? Are we playing a priest, a mage, a rogue, a troubadour, a warrior, or a wayfarer? And all I'm going to ask you to do is just write the character class. So I see we've got let's be Mao. No, we need something specific here. We've got rogue, we've got priest, we've got rogue again. So we've got priest again. So it's 2 priests, 2 rogues, 3 rogues. Wayfarers now come in. 4 rogues, another priest, 3, 4. Wayfarer, mage, priest, rogue, priest, rogue, Priest. I'm not even watching if it's the same people typing, so you might end up... I'm seeing that Rogue is coming in a lot here, as well as Priest. And can I vote twice? Well, I think some people have already. All right, so we're going to go... I think we're going to go... we're going to go with Rogue, because it did pop up a lot. Priest popped up a lot as well, but I think we're going to go with Rogue. So I'm going to very quickly... You can actually see here that I have... left the old Carrick's information. Now, what I want you to do is, while I'm filling in these statistics here, I want you to start thinking up... hello and welcome if you just joined the stream here. I want you to start thinking up a name for our rogue. And you need to think up, is our rogue male or female? So you give that some thought while I fill in these details here. I wish there was a more efficient way of doing it. If I had an assistant, I suppose that could work. But all right, so Magic 6. All right, so think up that name. Don't let it out just yet. So I'll ask for that shortly as we get there. Sanctity 2. Look at that. Any priests? Well, it's almost the exact opposite, isn't it? Instead of going with priest, scouting 4. So again, we're going to avoid forests, I think. And then thievery of 8. Okay, let me just double check those numbers. We got those names. I hope you got your dice ready as well. So we got 7, 6, 6, 2, 4, 8. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to work out our stamina quickly. You start with 27 stamina. All right. So we're not too unhealthy. All right, fantastic. And then our defense is equal to our combat score, which is 6, plus our rank, which is 5, plus any bonus armor, which is 3. All right, so we've got a defense of 14. Wouldn't Carrick love a defense of 14? I think. I certainly think he would. All right, possessions I've already filled in. So I think that's pretty much it. Profession, of course. Would a rogue write down that his profession is rogue? I'm not so sure about that, but anyway, for gamekeeping purposes, there is our rouge. All right, we've got a rogue here. 61 people watching. It's fantastic. I thank you all for joining me. I didn't expect this kind of support. I really didn't. I'm glad that you're having fun with this. All right, so let's have a look at some of the names that have been scrolling through. And, wow, there's so many they've gone past. Right, so I was going to hope that you'd keep them for me. All right, so here we go. So we've got some names coming in. I've got Bartolome. We've got a female rogue. I've got a male named Kakaroon. We've got Carthan. We've got a female named Carrier. Caria, I should say, a female named Bartolome. We've got a male rogue named Rallick. That's pretty cool. I like that. Female named Carrier. I think that's a repeat. So that's a second upvote for Carrier or Caria. How would you pronounce that? Caria, I suppose. I'm not very good with pronunciations, you may have guessed. All right, female named Caria. Male rogue named Richard Manning. Galen or Yalen, male. Female rogue named Caria, but just a little Aspie. That second vote there, really driving home that idea. Tassandra is nice. Benjamin Valen. I'm just going to skip down these names, just pouring in thick and thin. Yeah, we've got so many to choose from. Male, Aspen, Marek, Delphi, Ashton, Hex. Well, that's one of the characters, I think. Female, Morena, Daroth. I see again another vote for there. Okay, so we're going to play a female character, I think. And we're going to go... K was certainly a name that came up a lot. The letter K, anyway. So, female character. And Cecile. Yeah, we should just make him DM a 64-player session. Yeah, just a 64-player session. Yeah, I'll split the party up 8 ways. All right, so we've got a K here. Stop. He said my name. Yes. Still like Carrier. All right, I'm not convinced on the pronunciation of that. So I'm going to say here we're going to go with, let's go K-A, and I'm going to pick... let's say Kyria. Kyria. There we go. Kyria. And then I'm going to just randomly, the first name that I come across, Kinvac. Kyria Kinvac. There we go. So just to get the ball rolling, as we're 13 minutes now in. Well, 12 minutes in, I started a bit late. All right, is everyone happy with that? We're a female named Kyria Kinvac, a rogue. I think she's going to be a lot of fun to play. All right, fantastic. So it looks like thumbs up happening everywhere. Right, now that we have Kyria Kinvac, a rather seductive female rogue. Is she, she's confident, I think. I think Kyria is confident. Kyria is confident, I think. Are we going to go very kind of, is she the mysterious French rogue who kind of knows what's going on and is just ahead of the game of everybody? Or are we going for someone who's determined and who is going to rob from the rich and give to the poor, or rob from the poor and give to the rich? I'm not sure. You guys let me know when we get there. Mysterious. All right, so we'll go with mysterious. Yes, French, very mysterious. My apologies to all the French people. I know that there was someone from Canada. I think Europe's asleep right now, but she's not overconfident. Okay. All right, so French rogue who's determined, mysterious, but not overconfident. Right, okay, fantastic. Let's go with that then. Good. All right. Let us begin our adventures. I hope you have your dice ready. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ask you to roll your dice. Please roll your dice. And then to just type in the number. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to look over at my second screen, and the first number that I see, that's the number that we're going to go with. So hopefully we can get some good numbers. And if I'm only seeing 11s and 12s, that's all I'm saying. All right. So off we go. Lords of the Rising Sun. Wait a minute. I can feel a pulse. Slowly the world seeps back. First sounds, the dull roar and mutter of words, the creak of timbers, the fluttering of canvas in the breeze. Then the hard wooden planking under your back and the smell of rope on which your head is resting. A salty taste in your mouth mingled with bile. You sit up suddenly, coughing seawater out of your lungs. A circle of sailors are standing looking at you. One of their number, a man in finer clothes who seems to be a merchant captain, steps forward and helps you to your feet. Your clothes are wet through. You feel as weak as a kitten. "We fished you out of the sea," says the captain. "You were clinging to a broken spar. We thought you were dead." You can only nod, still too dazed to string a sentence together. "Who are you?" asks one of the men. "Where are you from?" You press your fingers to your head. Your hair is matted with blood and brine. "I do not know." The captain looks at his crew. "That's enough gawping. Back to work, the lot of you." Your only belongings are the clothes on your back and a platinum earring. Everything else was lost in the shipwreck, including all memories of your life until this moment. You must begin afresh. Okay, great. So let's just delete all of this then and go with a platinum earring. Platinum earring. Great, that drops our defense. Not a huge amount, I'm not too phased by it. Down to 13. Is it right? 13? No, 11. Delete 3, down to 11. Okay, and it says here, your belongings. I don't know if money counts as belongings. Yes, good that we spent time on that. Right, your belongings. So, Fabled Beard Company, thank you for being part of this, and we'll see you around. So, I don't know if belongings are included. I'm going to assume that we've lost our coin pouch as well. I'm not sure. What do you think? Is our coin pouch gone? Do we have coins? This kind of feels like Carrick's story all over again, doesn't it? Anyway, I needed a charisma roll. I'm not going to tell you the value. You're just going to do it for me. And so I'm going to ask for your charisma roll right now, if you please. Got to wait for the stream. Okay, the first number I saw there, which I'm now going to look at, is... How do you get 19 off of 2d6? You are... Sorry, just to be clear, it is a 2d6 that you're rolling. We're looking for a value between 1 and 12. So thank you for the 19 and the 18. Those would be really useful. And the 13 would be nice. But yes, all right. So the first number that I saw that was within our parameters was a 7. So it's a 2d6 method. So roll 2d6 and give me that number. So we've got a 7. We had to make a charisma roll here. We've got a 7 there. Our difficulty was 11. So we succeed. And yes, I'm going to go with the fact that the money was stolen. If you've got a bunch of pirates or whatever these sailor folk are, I think that, yes, they probably would have taken the cash. Or why they didn't take the platinum earring is probably because it was, you know, it's one of those fancy multi-studded platinum earring things. All right, so page 370. A tall and tense man with a piercing gaze, Captain Numachino, might seem intimidating to some, but your natural charm soon wins him round. He invites you to his cabin, where he tells you all about Akatsurai, over a cup or two of hot rice wine. "We are living in interesting times," he says. "That is considered a curse among my people, though for an adventurer like yourself it opens up a world of opportunities." "Such as?" you ask. "You might consider becoming a mercenary. Traditionally, the country has been ruled by the imperial sovereign, usually with the guiding advice of the Wisteria clan. But for the past 20 years, real power has been in the hands of the Starburst clan, specifically Lord Kiyomori. The sovereign is a young man, not in the best of health. And as he weakens, so does the legitimacy of the Starburst government. In the east, a new power is ascending. The Moonrise clan. Their leader, Yaritomo, has proclaimed himself shogun and intends to sweep away the Starburst clan by force." You roll your eyes. "Interesting times, you say. Confusing, certainly." He laughs. "Well, if politics does not interest you, what about trade? It is easy to get rich when a country is making itself ready for war. But I must warn you, there is a certain stigma attached to being a merchant, at least as far as the ruling classes are concerned." "Is there no career without such drawbacks?" you ask. "The career of a wanderer. In that way, you can win both riches and honor. For the wild places of Akatsurai, bound with monsters, magic, and ancient treasure." 389. One of the crew is very taken with your platinum earring and offers you 75 shards for it. If you agree to sell, cross the platinum earring off your adventure sheet and make a note of the money. Captain Numachino cannot organize his voyage for your convenience, but he says he will put ashore at the next port for you. So, do we sell the earring, yes or no? What do we do? All right. Oh, the platinum prices are rising. Is that right? what if the earring is important? It is our only belonging. Some say yes, some say nay. It's too nice to sell. Keep it, keep it. Right, we're keeping it, and I'm moving on. We've got quite a delay here in the stream. I'm going to have to try and figure that one out too. All right, so now 2 dice. Give me some numbers, people. Give me some numbers as to where he is going to put us to shore. Yes, it might be an earring. It's our only clue. Absolutely, we have no idea what else is happening. Looking for those 2 numbers. There's a 6. There's a 5. 4, 9. Okay. What good is money to us on a ship? Yes. Okay, so looking at those numbers, I see a 7 coming up. That is into the city of Haidari, which is 232. 232. All right. 2, 3. 323, I should say. 3, 2, 3. Haidari, at the mouth of the Hitsu River, is a town of closely packed dwellings situated in between the ivy-trailed rock walls of a narrow valley. So where are we on the actual map? I can't see it on my screen. I'm going to go to the map at the back of the book. Haidari. Can anyone see it? Oh, right at the bottom southern tip. I can't point there because my video doesn't go that high, but it's right at the bottom tip, just below the island of Shaku, or Shaku Island, I suppose. So Haidari, right there. The Gaku River flows all the way up to Urushi Mountains and the Noboru Monastery. Good luck I've moved to Japan so I can learn the pronunciations a bit better, isn't it? All right, moving on. Is everyone enjoying this? Is everyone is it too disjointed? Are you guys enjoying it? There's 65 people watching. I'm blown away by that number. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Especially since I mucked up the times. You guys having fun? Yes. Okay, fantastic. And I just want to say there that M for Ashida, yes, you got a 12. Yay on that 12. Let's hopefully get that one sometime. Okay, it's great. Keep going. Lovely. Thank you for the support. You guys are amazing. You really are amazing. And I will continue going. Okay, now, do we continue our journey? So I suppose that's leaving the village of Haidari, or do we take lodging at an inn? We know usually what inns do. They give you healing for every day spent there if you have money. We don't. We decided to keep that platinum earring, which I see I misspelt. We can visit the local shrine to the god Nai. Now, that might be something to do. We know that sometimes we can pick up stuff there. So I think I'm going to go there. And I think what I'm going to do in cities is I'm just going to work through all of the options rather than trying to vote on where we should go. It could just become a little bit disruptive. So let's first pop over to the shrine of Nai. 69. Nai is the awesome god of earthquakes, which are a constant danger in this part of the world. His statue shows him as an armored warrior with a terrible rictus of glee on his scarlet face. Well, we could become an initiate. This is of danger. Become an initiate, renounce the worship of Nai, acquire a blessing, or leave the shrine. Now, usually becoming an initiate costs money, but you never know. We might be in a different part of the world. Perhaps. Let's just see. Oh, to become an initiate costs you 75 shards. Let's just have a look at what his blessing does as well while we're here. We can be a little bit more thorough, I think, than we were initially. Carrick wasn't very good, but I think that in terms of investigating things, I think that Kyra here is Miss Kinvac is a little bit more thorough in her investigations of the world. To get Nai's blessing, you must donate 50 shards, 25 if you're an initiate, and make a charisma roll. If successful, you get the Divine Wrath in the blessings box. This blessing can be used once at the start of a fight to inflict 1d6 stamina points of damage on your opponent straight away. The blessing can be used once at the start of a fight, and that's it. The blessing is then used and done. So for 25, that's not bad. That's not bad, I must say. But yes, we've got to get there first, and Yeah, that's not going to happen. All right, so we're going to leave the shrine. There's not much else we can do there. We can renounce the worship of Nine, but we don't worship him yet anyway. So back to 323. Steel shards. We are a rogue, yes, but we are in a strange city. We must understand the city first. Get into contact with the heartbeat of this great city before we start to fleece it. Huh? The idea that a stranger has just arrived on a ship. We've got the rumor behind us that we were found in the ocean. Those sailors will have spoken about this at the local tavern, which we have not yet visited, I might say. They will have spoken about it, so I would be worried that if there was any crimes being committed, the authorities would look to poor, petite, little old me, and we don't want that kind of attention just yet. Let's understand the city first, huh? Shards is the currency, Grace Leo, that's a good question. Shards is basically like gold coins, except in Fabled Lands, shards is the denomination. So that's what you would need to do that. And yes, before we start to rob it blind, absolutely. Talk to the local tavern. Well, I couldn't agree with you more. 167. Let's have a look. Standard stuff. You find an inn where you can stay for a shard a day. For each day you spend at the inn, you can recuperate 1 lost stamina point until your stamina score is back to normal. And when you're ready to move on, we can move on. So no rumors there. Nye is a very quiet little village, isn't it? I'm gonna chalk it up to being it was an interesting spot to land at. We're now on the island. We're good. We're no longer in the ghost waters of Naig. How would you pronounce that? N-Y-G, Naig, I suppose. We're no longer there. All right, so we can't book passage on a ship. We have no cash. So let's continue our journey, which is 342. We don't have a choice. The imposing cliffs that enclose Haidari give a clue to the immensity of the great Urushi mountains that lie inland. We could take the road to Shingen, which is further up the coast. We could travel east along the coast. We could go up into those formidable mountains. What should we do? Cast your votes now. Shingen, east or mountains? Let's see where we're going. We washed ashore in North Dakota. Great, yeah. Okay, the coast is coming in. Mountains, we're split now. Ooh, east. Shingen, east. Mountains, east. Mountains. Mountains, east. I'm seeing east more than mountains. We're going east. 74. With our scouting skill of 4, maybe the mountains is not the best idea. But who knows? They're all over this island. If you look at them, they stretch all the way up. So we will have plenty of opportunity to come back to these mountains, I'm sure. Palm trees line the paths between the rice paddies. Off to the north, a vast mountain as insubstantial as a shadow at dawn lazily trails a plume of dark smoke across the sky. That is Lord Thunder, a peasant tells you. He is referring to the god of the volcano. Roll 2 dice. Give me some numbers, people. That is a tiny map. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. So give me some numbers, please, as we determine what happens on our journey. Whenever we're traveling, you can get your dice ready. We know that the method here is coming through. All right, I'm going to look away, and now I look at the numbers, and the first number I see is a 6. A quiet journey, 632. Sorry, 632, right, 632. You are at the southern tip of Yodoshi, the main island of Akatsurai. The climate here is subtropical, and exotic scents tinge the breeze, but the mountains to the north wear caps of snow. Well, again, get ready to cast your vote. We're going to either go to the mountains or continue to the village of Mukogawa. So Mukogawa or the mountains. Look at my map. Mukogawa. Wow. All right. So we have, in the space of a few chapters, we've gone from the very tip of the island all the way up. We're now right next to the Ugetsu Straits, next to that little drawing of a man. That is Mukogawa. That's where we are potentially going. Okay. Where are we here? Mukogawa or the mountains. I'm looking over. I'm seeing village. I'm seeing mountains. Mukogawa village. Village it is. Right, off to Mukogawa we go. 535. I think we're hoping for a little city action here. 535. Okay. A narrow alluvial plain separates the high-thrust Urushi Mountains from the eastern shore. Here the peasants grow rice and cotton and weave silk for the clothes of the great lords. 438. The Urushi Mountains are a great blue bruise against the limpid sky at dusk. North is the city of Mukogawa, center of the Moonrise Clan power base. Across the Ugetsu Straits lies the island of Toho, the untamed outpost of the Akatsuris Empire. Akatsuris Empire. My apologies. Mukogawa is a city of strong gleaming ramparts built on cliffs overlooking the sea. White banners flutter and snap in the breeze, and soldiers in white surcoats patrol the streets. This is the stronghold of the Moonrise Clan, whose ancestral shrine is just across the straits on Udai Island. Right, we have arrived. Okay. Fantastic. When will we steal? That's a good question. We need to rob something. Absolutely. Fantastic. Don't I look like one of those radio narrators? Well, maybe. Okay, yes, city. Let's not be murder hobos. Absolutely. Let's be a thefter hobo. I love it. Okay, thefter hobo. Right, so we're going to work through all of the options that we have here. I do like that. So we're going to visit the Moonrise Clan Manor as step number 1. Brush up on your Akatsuris, I suppose would be the language that they speak here. 726. In case any of you are wondering why I stutter on a few words and things, I haven't read these books in a long time. So sometimes I might falter on my reading out aloud. All right. The mansion is heavily guarded. In their brocaded white tabards, the sentries resemble temple statues carved from blocks of pristine marble. If you have the code word frog, they recognize you as an ally of the clan and allow you to pass. If you don't have the code word frog, you are refused entrance and must turn back. Well, at least I did not say that I look like a frog. Okie dokes. So then our next option is to go to the harbour. Ah, you see, Grace Lou, maybe it was a good thing that we were turned away. You are quite right. We don't know how to act in this strange world. All right, so we're going to go to the harbour, 281. The quayside is bustling with activity as ships upload and unload supplies in preparation for the civil war, which everyone expects within a few months. If you have a ship here, you could easily sell it, as the Moonrise Clan is only too eager to expand its fleet. Well, we don't have a ship, we can't buy a ship, we can't trade at the warehouses, we can't hire crew, so that's it. Not much at the harbour either. Right. Visit the shrine of Juntoku. 49. 49. Wow. Donations have been streaming into the shrine lately. Oh, really? Donations, you say? Where are those donations? I mean, I would hate for them to get stolen by a petty thief, eh? It would be better for them to be stolen by a professional thief. I digress, sorry. As the overlord of the battlefield, Juntoku is very popular with soldiers, especially now on the eve of civil war. The courtyard of the shrine is filled with it's the typo here. The courtyard of the shrine is filled with flocks of well-fed pigeons, the special messengers of the god. You look around for a priest finally catching the eye of a slight youth with a long-sleeved white robe. Just leave a donation and tell the god what you want, he says. To obtain a blessing requires you to make a charisma roll, and then, that is if we are an initiate of Jontoku. That's to get a blessing. If you fail the charisma roll, you lose all of your current blessings. On a successful roll, Jontoku gives you a blessing. The blessing works by allowing you to try again when you fail a combat roll. You can use the blessing only once, and then you have to remove it. So that's to get a blessing. We just have to make a charisma roll. That's interesting. To become an initiate, you must pay 50 shards, and you can write Jontoko in the god box on your adventure sheet. You must not already be an initiate of another god, and if you were, you can pay to renounce that status, etc., etc. So I think we should have a go at gaining a blessing. To re-roll a combat roll, I think would be really useful to all of us. So go ahead and give me a roll, if you please. And let's see what we get. Let's try for the blessing. The worst is that we're going to lose our other blessings. We don't have any other blessings, so that's absolutely fine. So give me a roll there. I'd love to do the Lone Wolf books, although the Lone Wolf books are a lot less interactive than the Fabled Lands, because Lone Wolf was much more linear. I was actually in a lot of contact with Joe Dever before he unfortunately passed on. So I'd love to do the Lone Wolf books at some point. All right, I'm going to look at numbers. I see we've got some 12s coming through, which is fantastic. There's another 12. Ask a Pathfinder. Hello, Ask a Pathfinder. Thank you for joining us. I see we've got some 12s. We've got roll 2d6. Yes, we've got some 10s. Okay, good. I'm going to take the 12. Let's take that success. Now, the charisma difficulty that we had to make was a challenge rating of 15. We rolled a 12. We are aces for spades. So we get this combat blessing. Now, that's an interesting idea. Is combat re-roll 1 times. And this, I'm just going to make a note here, is the god of Juntoku. Right. Reroll combat once. Someone remind me of that, please, when that happens. Okay. Combat blessing, but no weapons. Yes, absolutely. We have no weapons. Our combat rating. Well, but what we lack in weapons, we make up for in personality. Eh? Who would want to hurt a face as beautiful as mine? I don't think so. Oh, and I have your pouch of money. Goodbye. No. So, yes, no armor, no weapons. Hit them with your dashing smile. That's all that we're going to be able to use, I think. Absolutely. All right, when you have finished your devotions, turn to page 178, which is the city one. That allows us to get lodging at an inn, which is 717. Let's see what happens here. I actually have not read this book. I only got it a couple of days before I left South Africa because I didn't know that it was actually in print. I'd been waiting for it for years, and then I happened to find it. All right, so Lord Yoritomo of the Moonrise clan has sent out the call to arms to all his loyal vassals in the east. Troops are arriving every day, and there is hardly room in the city to billet them. Perhaps that is why the innkeeper feels justified in charging 4 shards a day. Still, that price includes a comfortable bed and good food, allowing you to recuperate 1 stamina point until fully healed. Right, so 4 shards a day. I think that this fine form will find a nice stable to sleep in. I think that is what's going to happen. We're not going to do anything else. And then our final option is to go to the armory, 744. And let's have a look at that. All right, so the officer in charge of the armory, Lord Sega of the Nine Lakes clan, does not even bother to ask if you are a warrior or a merchant. The time for such distinctions is past, he says. All that matters now is to be ready for war. You soon find that the local arms and armor prices are severely inflated. Ha ha ha, well, there we go. No good in, oh boy. Hello, Germany. Who needs sleep? Well, hopefully we'll be able to put you to sleep there, Germany. 87 people now watching. I know it says, I said Sega, but well, it is Sega. It's S-A-G-A. I don't know how, Saga? No, Sega. Saga? We'll go with Saga moving forward so we don't confuse it with that non-sponsorship entity there. All right, so sounds like time to come back after hours. Yes, and do a little pilfering, I think. The average cost here of a weapon. Now, for those of you that haven't followed Carrick's story on the other channel, on the regular Saturday shows, which will go out on Saturday as well, by the way. Episode 5 will air. I know it's already actually come out secretly. It was added to the playlist by the Web Goblin. But a sword, generally speaking, that we are accustomed to, retails for 50 shards and sells for 40. Here, if we wanted to buy a single blade, it would cost 100 shards, twice the price. That's not just inflated, that's huge. But we can sell it for 75. So I think that we definitely should look into procuring some weaponry. That's 65 shards. Sorry, yes, we are deleting that right now. Thank you for pointing that out. It is a game book. Gabriel Garces, I suppose. It's a game book called Fabled Lands, and I'm busy reading through that. You guys are participating and having fun. There we go. I see Mega Rock 101B is helping out there. All right, back to the story. Sorry. So we can't rob the armory, unfortunately, but once we've done our business, we can finish and move on. All right, so there really is nothing for us to do here that I can see in this city. I think what I'm getting the sense of is that we're going to have to leave the cities. They're all focused on this war thing. We can't sell the earring either. That's the challenge. Yeah, we can't sell the earring. Normally it would have a list price. The way that the markets work is that they list everything that they will sell and they'll buy, and they give you the prices. If it's not listed there, no one's interested in buying it. It's a fairly simple system, but it's a great way of kind of maintaining and keeping control and not having 70,000 pages of lists per city. All right, so we're going to leave. We don't have much choice. It's not a vote. There's nothing left to do in the city. We've explored all of our options. We do know that perhaps we can try and get favor with the Moonrise clan. We can come back here. And more importantly, we have learned that if we get anything, we can definitely come back to sell here. This is where the money is to be made. So we're going to leave the city 203. Right. 3 great roads converge on Mukogawa, but the 2 leading west are seldom traveled these days because of the hostility that exists between the lords of the Moonrise clan and the official government of Lord Kiyomori. The third road goes north to Chompo, where the Wisteria clan rules in ancient splendor. Chompo, Shingen, which we had the option of previously, or do we just follow the coast south? Now, we did come from the south, so I would suggest that we don't necessarily go that way. I would say we've got the option of going west to Chambara, north, east, southwest. Okay, so west to Chambara, take the road to Chompo in the north, or we head southwest towards Shingen. So it's an interesting thing. I have to go. Bye. Just a little Aspie. Thanks for joining. We'll see you later. If we do more of these, I'd like to perhaps. All right. So if we look at this very small map that we have here, we can go to Shingen, Chambara, or Chompo. Now, if we go to Shingen, that might take us past the Clearwater Shrine. Now, that could be interesting. Who's not part of the Civil War? I think pretty much everyone in this particular island. So maybe the shrines are neutral. By the looks of things, anyone can go into the shrines. I've got a vote there for Chambara. I've got Chompo. I've got North twice. Shingen. O to the shrine. Shingen, I think that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to Shingen. We could have gone there before. Now we're definitely going to try and make our way there. So give me some dice rolls. You know we're going to be moving. 54. Let's see where we can go. All right. The long road stretches through gently rolling countryside. Few travelers take this route. Those who go east are thought of as effete courtiers. Those who go west are considered uncouth provincials. We are uncouth? No, we are not uncouth. We are simply individuals trying to make a living. Huh? That's what we are trying to do. We are not uncouth. What is this nonsense? No. 124. So I have asked for numbers. This is the first travel time that I have ever had a traveling sequence and not needed numbers. So I'm going to keep those numbers for something else as we get there. I'm going to keep 5. Jason Evans, I see there, has got a 5 up there. So we're going to go with that 5. So 5 is our next number. That's what we're going to have to live with on that. Right. A shrine reveals itself as a splash of gold and red, half hidden in the trees beside a waterfall. As you stand watching, a group of white-clad women come out to dance for the local spirit. I think we should stop, a woman. We can dance, we can socialize a little bit, and I don't know about you, but I saw the gold on the building. If they're ready to put it on the building, well, maybe they'll put it in my palm, huh? So 731. The shrine stands beside a lake where willows dip their boughs in crystal water. Here you can pay your respects to the 1,000 gods of the Akatsurai. 1,000 gods. If you wanted to obtain a boon, leave a donation of 100 shards and make a charisma roll. If we only had money. Increase the roll by 1 for every additional 100 shards that you offer up. Wow. But if you succeed, you can increase your combat, you can gain a blessing, you can gain stamina, you can gain another blessing, you can change your profession to priest from rogue. That would be interesting. The gods are annoyed and they reduce your rank by 1. So this is a really powerful temple once we've got, tons of cash to spend and splash around. 147 as we continue our journey west. 147. Pulling yourself away from the serenity of Clearwater Shrine, you decide which way to go now. Well, we said we're going for Shingen, so that's where we're going. 195. We will get there one way or another. 195. Apart from pilgrims seeking the Clearwater Shrine, few people use this road. There is little contact between the Chancellor's court at Shingen and the rebel military government of the East. All right. Lots of turning in this one. 362. I must say the bigger books are easier to find. 362 are easier to find movement. Flip through. Shingen is a quiet seaside town where the Lord Chancellor has his private residence. I like the sounds of this place already. There is no mistaking the building. A sprawling mansion of polished cedarwood with scarlet gonfalons streaming like from the eaves. It sits on a hillside, glaring down on the town like a tiger sunning itself on a rock. Take lodgings at the inn, call on the Chancellor, or travel from here. Well, let's go and... I know we don't know the protocol, but the Chancellor is bound to be enticed by my winning smile. Etiquette aside, let's see what we can find, eh? 523. 569. We don't have the code word fracas. 569. Ah, if the box above is empty, put a tick in it and turn to 597. Right, we have our first box ticking. Yay! 569 is now ticketed. Excellent. Fantastic. We'll denote all bags, 0 bags of 100 shards each. There we go. No, it's not pay to win, sadly, because you can screw up quite a lot. I'm just looking at the comments. You can screw up quite a lot. All right, 596. With that shrine, there were some very negative things that could happen. Losing a rank, for example, drops a whole bunch of stats. So it's pretty dodgy, actually. Right. The Lord Chancellor's servants tells you his master has gone up to the cliffs. He points to a path winding through pine trees above the villa. Come back another time, he says. He's not from Akatsurai, by the way, the Chancellor's servant. So we can go up the cliff top, or we can return to town. Well, we're going to go up that cliff top. We're not... if he's all alone, all the better. You know what I'm saying? Besides, we need to get a foothold in here somehow. It is a long, steep climb. The sun is sinking towards the horizon as you emerge from the trees and look along the cliff top. The late afternoon light is the color of blood. Lord Kiyomori and his guards stand in a circle around a man who is kneeling with his hands tied behind his back. The breeze whips his long, loose hair around his face as he looks up at them with a scowl of almost demonic ferocity. So, Akugenda, says Kiyomori. You are unrepentant even now. The man called Akugenda spits on the ground. Repentance? You pious hypocrite! I call upon the thunder spirit to hear this vow. I will be avenged. I will be revenged on the pack of you, he says, looking around at everyone surrounding him. Kiyomori looks away in distaste. Enough of this! Jiro, kill him! We could stop the execution, we could stand and watch, or we could leave. I feel that this is an important decision, so I'm going to throw it out to you guys. Are we going to watch, or are we going to move? We did say that she was confident, but that she wasn't overconfident. So, stop it, watch, watch, watch. Stop them, watch, stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm going to stop it. It's absolutely unacceptable. A man with long hair, a face like that, you should not cut his head off. Besides, he has cursed you. You cannot... I'm trying to think of every excuse that I'm going to use. 474. Let's see what happens. 474... Kiyomori and his retinue could not be more astonished if a fairy creature from the overworld had just fallen into their midst. Jiro, the Chancellor's executioner, rests the tip of his two-handed sword on the turf and shakes his head. Now what do you think you are up to? He says. Who is this fool? Demands Kiyomori. Jiro! Execute them both! Jiro hefts his sword and steps closer. 2 other guards are moving to get behind you. What now? Fight all 3. Option 1. cut Akugenda's bonds, option 2, or option 3, run for it. I don't think we're going to run for it. That's just silly. Yes. Well, it would be nice. We do have that 1 combat reroll. Just remember that. All right, so we've got a run. That's our first option. You should be rolling 2d6. Cut the bonds, cut his bonds. Bad sword maintenance behavior, Mr. Executioner. Absolutely, he's got human oil on that blade. It's going to rust very, very, very soon. Cut the bonds with your nails. Yes. Not the bonds. Cut the bonds. Set him free. Cut the bonds. Okay, we're going to cut the bonds. We're taking a decision here. 5, 9, 8. For a prisoner who has been chained up without food or water, Akugenga reacts with outstanding vigor. Leaping to his feet, he touches your throat with a caress that suddenly becomes a steel grip. Sorry to be such an ingrate, he says, but I could really use a boost of life energy right now. You can hardly believe it. He is using sorcery to drain your soul. All right. So, well, was just trying to get his character killed. Well, who knows, Timothy? Who knows? Anyway, so we're going to take Jason's 5, which was rolled earlier. And that 5 gets added to our magic roll of a 6, which gives us an 11. We failed that roll. We failed that roll. Let's see. Is this the end? An hour in and we're done. 140. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What's going to happen? Ah! Ha! Ha! Oh. Well. Well, 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 well. Well, well, well. You are dead. If you have a resurrection deal, turn to the section noted on your adventure sheet after erasing your current possessions, money, and any details on the ship's manifest. If you don't have a resurrection arranged, this is the end, and you can only start afresh with a new character. Make sure to erase everything first before you start your new adventure. You can begin again at 1 in any of the books in the series. Poor, 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 poor Kyra Kinvac the Rogue is dead. Well, there we go. Reload previous save. Not in these books, I'm afraid. It's the harsh reality of the 90s. The hell, we died. Yes, we did. Well, all right. So here's a question that I'm throwing out to you. We have been going for an hour, and I did say that we would only go for, well, I said that we'd go for 2 hours, actually. So the call is yours. Do we go for another hour and we start a new character? We'll start perhaps in The Lords of the Rising Sun. We'll take a different book, I think, simply because we now know the opening chapter of this kind of book. Do we start a new character? Do we carry on, or do we call it quits? Whimper and go off and have a toast to poor Kyra Kinvac, the world's most useless and short-lived rogue that ever there was. What have we got? Another character. New, yes, another. All right, great. So we're going to carry on with that. The question that I have for you is the book that we're going to go to. So we're not going to use the Lords of the Rising Sun. I hope that you agree with me on that one. Penniless castaway runs around an island, pisses off authorities, and gets killed while trying to free a sentenced necromancer. There are better lines on a gravestone. Lone Wolf 2K, I couldn't agree more with you. That was fantastic. Yes, absolutely. All right, so we are going to do the Court of the Hidden Faces. I'm trying to keep books, playing on books that we're not likely to get to with our regular Saturday gaming anytime soon, so it kind of keeps it fresh for us as well. So we're going to do this book, but I am going to grab very quickly a glass of water. So I will take a very brief break. and I will be back in 5 minutes. I suggest you guys go and get something to drink. If you haven't done so, warm up your dice, because we are going strong for another 57 minutes or so as soon as I'm back. Anyway, until then, I'll be back with you shortly. Right, and we are back. I've got my water now, so we can continue on. I've kind of set up the page layout so we can start to add in our details as we need to move through this. I'm just quickly having a look here at what we start off with, and you start with 23 stamina now. Right, 23. What? What have I done now? Okay. Right, 23. Right, so classes. We just killed a character. Yes, we have an earring. Sell it. Absolutely. This time, if we get anything that we start off with, we are going to sell that. Right, so we're going to go through those classes again. You're going to get to vote this time. We did do rogue. We should have done more stabby stab. Yes, except there wasn't any opportunity for us to do so, really. I did kind of feel that we obviously needed to get off the beaten track as fast as we could. So, we've got Priest, Mage, Rogue, Troubadour, Warrior, and Wayfarer. Wayfarer is focused more on combat, scouting, kind of like a ranger from Dungeons & Dragons more than anything else. You've got your Warrior, kind of goes without saying. You have a Troubadour, which is kind of your Bard. You've got a Rogue, which is obviously Rogue, and the last one didn't last very long. And then, of course, you've got your Mage and your Priest. So, what have we got? Warrior, Mage, Wayfarer, Mage. Troubadour, Warrior, Mage. I'm seeing Mage. Mage is that's where we're going. We won't call him Radagast, the Brown, or her. Now, give me name and sex, if you please. So profession is Mage, whilst I type in these numbers. All right. So we have Mage there. Okay. I've done the stamina. Using the wrong hand, that's why. Theophilus. Theophilus is an interesting old British name. 4. Anyway, we had that magic before. 175. 1 7 5. Right. So that makes our defense currently 9. Is that a 9? Can't be. 9. Okay, apparently the text wanted to shrink down. Let's just get that up again. Okay, fantastic. Right, I'm ready. How about you? So what have we got here? Tolbert, Zila, Azusa, Colbert, Agami, Apollon, Rexentrom, 13. Interesting. Titus. Charlemagne. Oh, Charlatan, perhaps. Shingen. Shingen in honor of the place where we died. Or as a warning, perhaps. All right, that made me laugh. Shingen, I think, is a good idea because, well, I just like that idea. So, Shingen it is. Shingen. But I did see that Theophilus beforehand, and I do like the name Theophilus. So let's go with Theophilus. Theophilus. I think that's how it's spelt, but it's going to be how it's spelt now moving forward. All right, so Theophilus Shingen, I think, is hopefully going to do better than the last one. Who knows? Who knows? And there we go. Theophilus Shingen, male. Thank you. I approve, Freddie Ray. Fantastic. I'm glad that you approve. Nice name. Yeah, I think we've got something interesting for a mage anyway. It says here you start with these possessions, but sometimes the book has a way of starting us with nothing. Let's write them in anyway. So it says here you start with 65 shards. So that's what I had prepped last time. So 65 shards. Yes, thank you. And you start with a sword because we are a mage. You start with a sword and chainmail +3. Chainmail +3 to defense. Okay, that's great. So our defense sits at 12 for now until we wash up on a shore, right? Who needs possessions when we have magic? It's a good question. Yes, let's hope that he's a bit more of a non-interventionalist. Absolutely. Maybe he's not going to stick his nose in where it doesn't belong. Who are we to decide? Well, we are who we are to decide, right? All right, so here we go. Round 2. Oh dear. You are alone in an open boat waiting for death. How your life has changed since that day when you set out from your homeland across the Cragdrift Sea. You had signed on board a ship with the hope of visiting a dozen ports and seeing 1,000 wonders. But calamity overtook your voyage in the first week when pirates swooped down upon the vessel. You and a handful of shipmates managed to get the cutter down into the water and were making off, but some of the pirates leapt down from the rail right in your midst. The fighting was hard. You remember little of it now, but when it was over, the boat was awash with blood, and you were the only one left alive. Of your own ship and the pirates' craft, there is no sign. The current had carried you out of sight of any living thing. Best not to think how you've survived since then. At the mercy of the wind and the sea currents, you have been swept steadily westwards into regions completely unknown to you. Drinking water has been your biggest problem. You've had to rely on rain, and there has been none for days. Your body is weak, your spirits low. Then, just as death seems ready to draw his boat alongside, you see something that kindles new hope. White clouds, birds turning high above, a grey hump of land on the horizon. Steering towards the shore, you feel the cutter lurch as it enters rough water. The wind whips up plumes of spindrift and breakers pound the cliffs. The tiller is yanked out of your hands. The little boat is spun around out of control and goes plunging towards the coast. You leap clear at the last second. There is a snap of timber, the roaring crescendo of the waves, and then silence as you go under. Striking out wildly, you try to swim clear, then suddenly a wave catches you and flings you contemptuously upon the beach. You are battered, bedraggled, but alive. Well, we electrocuted some sharks. We can always retire and become a farmer, maybe. Well, we can become a ship captain. If we buy our own ship, we can indeed become a ship captain. 539. We are alive, at least. We are here. You are traveling, surviving, I should say, in Old Harkuna, just west of the river Reese Delta. Just west of the river Reese Delta. A castle stands on a low hill close by. Interesting. The Reese Delta. Where is the Reese Delta? We have to survive long enough to do so. Absolutely. Pirate Mage Dreams. Yeah. All right. So are we going to go to the castle? We're going to go to the Singing Forest. So that kind of gives us an idea of where we are. Go west across country. Follow the road to Ringhorn, which I suspect might take us out of the book, or head east across the river. That will take us out of the book, sorry. Heading to Ringhorn won't. So the Reese River, there's a castle on the hill, which is Castle Ringhorn. That's the potential that we go to. Castle, what could possibly go wrong? Absolutely. What could possibly go wrong? Yes, who knows? All right, we've got Castle, Forest twice, 3 times, 4, 5. Forest is winning. Castle, Forest. All right, I'm going to make a decision. We're going to go to the... Oh, Castle's coming up more. Singing Forest, Castle. Yes, Castle. All right. So, Forest, Castle. Oh, it's also confusing. All right, we're going to go. We're going to go to the castle. We're going to go to the castle. I see castle coming up a lot. There was a question, where can we pick up these books? If you head on over to our website, www.greatgamemaster.com, you'll see there's an Amazon store. You click on the Amazon store and then you just type in Fabled Lands. They'll pop up. You should be able to get some. They're out of print now. They are in a reprint. Or you can head on over to the Fabled Lands Facebook group, which you find on Facebook. Fabled Lands, and you'll find the group, and then you can get the link to their page there. I don't know it offhand, it's not just fabledlands.com. And you can pick up the books from their store as well. They are no way bribing, paying, or sponsoring me to do this, by the way. This is just something that I'm doing for you guys. So just bear that in mind. All right. Okay, so we're going to the castle. That is decided. Castle Ringhorn. We're going to apply for Court Mage. Oh, well, there's an interesting one. Become a plot twist, become a necromancer, and be the guy that killed our last character. Interesting thought. I like it. These books are good, but I don't know if they're that good. Okay. Ooh, it's not Ringhorn. My apologies. Oh dear. You arrive outside the gates of an old Shadar castle. Now, if any of you have been part of the regular Saturday viewings, Shadar Tor was an area that we went and investigated a while ago. That was Shadar stuff as well, wasn't it? Interesting. Very, very interesting. If you have the code word extinguish, turn immediately to there. If not, but you have the code word dragon, turn there. If not, but you have the code word edifice, turn there. Otherwise, turn there. So this is a very, very interesting point to come to once we've got a whole bunch of code words. 166. All right. So where are we? 166. We're still on 80 people watching. I'm absolutely amazed. I really appreciate the support. I really do. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope that you are. Of course, I'm getting to do the fun bit. You guys are making rolls and that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you are. Right. So here we go. Shadar Castle. The castle stands unoccupied. No pennant flies above its turrets. No coat of arms is displayed above the gate. You see a peasant tending the moat, removing the weeds. Oh, the Lord was slain in the wars, he tells you. Why do you continue to go about your chores, you ask. I pledged my service to the old Lord, he says. Even now, I shall continue to serve him until the day of my own death. And with that, you continue on your way. 539. Nothing to do at the castle. So that means, by popular vote, we're going into that forest. So that's the castle for you. Very interesting. And we now head into the Singing Forest. 31. Give me a dice roll, if you please. Give me a dice roll. Lone Wolf, you watch Monty Python, and I appreciate that. Glad you guys are having fun. And there's our first numbers coming through. 7, 7, 9, 6, 5, 3. Wow, okay. I'm closing my eyes. I'm looking down, and the first number that I see is a 4. Right, from Sinai Winterwolf, we've got a 4. Look at those numbers coming through. David and Renato, you're supposed to be rolling 2d6, not a d20. So just bear that in mind. If you've just joined us, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. So we've got a 4 there, and I've completely lost my place. Where were we? 31. All right. You have entered the thick woodland of the singing forest, which is vibrant with the sounds of birds and animals. We hear a crashing in the trees. 5, 3, 4. Oh dear. If there is a tick in the box, turn to that. If not, put a tick there now and read on. 5, 3, 4. Well, I'll take that. 5, 3, 4. Thank you very much. Something is rushing toward you through the undergrowth, shaking the bushes and ferns of the forest. Yet you cannot see anything. An invisible threat. Make a magic roll. Well, we happen to be a very skilled sorcerer, are we not? Burn down the forest. Yeah, well, we might just do that. And hopefully we won't do that, Pedro. Right, so those numbers are coming in. Thank you. Time to roll. And looking away and coming back to the first number I see. And that is Simeon, 1975. Gives us a 7. A 7 plus our magic roll of 8 gives us a grand total of 15. And the difficulty we had to beat was 14. I kid you not. You can follow along the books with me if you have that. So that is a successful magic roll. We are great sorcerers. Fear us, for we know great things like magic and stuff. You sense an unseen charm, a minor fairy magic. For an adventurer of your magical talent, it is an easy matter to employ true sight and penetrate the charm. Suddenly, 4 goblin-like fairies are revealed, running towards you. Their limbs are long, their hair spiked and limed, talon claw-like hands gripping ornate bronze axes, for cold iron is anathema to the goblin fairies of the forest. When they realize they can be seen, they pull up short, uncertain now, and somewhat fearful. Yell a war cry and attack, leave while they hesitate, or threaten them. This is a tough, tough decision. Right. So, what do we do? Ha! Hug them to death. So, we're going to attack them, we're going to leave, or we're going to threaten. Run, leave, attack, threaten, attack. Go on the offensive this time. Panic. Yes, I think that's what we're doing right now. Attack, run away, threaten. Stabby stab, threaten. Thank you. Okay, that's not the choice. Threaten them, attack by cold iron. Well, we do have that sword, which is pretty much cold iron. Attack, burn. Yes, I think we're going to attack. That certainly seems to have what has been yelled out the most. 91. 91. You charge them, bellowing a battle cry. Instantly, the cowardly goblins turn tail and flee pell-mell into the forest, howling in terror. One of them drops a jug of fairy mead in the process. Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay, so fairy mead has been dropped. We pick it up. Now, if we find something to do with this, we could metagame because we have another character who's got fairy mead. We've got quite a lot of this stuff going on. We can throw a party, go and resurrect our dead rogue and see what we can do. All right. So, you pursue. No, wait. I've lost my place. You are sailing the cathedral. If there's a tick, you turn tail. You charge them, bellowing hastily. All right, 206. 206. Sorry, that doesn't up in heaven. 206. The singing forest is alive with birdsong. Everywhere you look, brightly coloured birds trill and twitter. You notice several birds high in the branches whose feathers seem as silver, glinting wildly in the sunlight. They are silver nightingales, and their song is sweet. If you have the code word elegant, turn there. If not, turn there. It is time to leave the singing forest. Okay. So, a question to all of you. Do we head north, leading us into old Harkoona itself, the High King's seat, those kinds of interesting spaces towards the spine of Harkoon? Do we head east to the Reese River? Do we go southwest to Thurlings, which looks to be a little bit of a camp on the edge of a swamp? Do we take the road northwest to the High King's seat? Do we just head west in general, which will take us towards the crags of the Longholms? Or do we go south back down towards the coast, which is where we came from? High King's seat because they were fancy. To the camp, southwest, west, east. How do we get code words? We gain code words from speaking to people, doing certain actions. That gives us the code words that we get. That's in response to one of the questions that came through. High King's seat. Kings love mages. Actually, that's a good point. Yes, kings do love mages. Right, so taking that as our reason, we're going to move on to 653. We could be a king. We could be a mage court. I think so. 653. Why not? Why not indeed? That's what I say. That's what I say. You are travelling across the green countryside of Old Harkoona. Nearby is the ancient castle of the High King. You have arrived at the great castle known as the High King's seat. If you have the code word diamond, turn there. If not, turn elsewhere. 373. That's not right. 379. Oh dear. The High King was driven out of this land long ago by the Utakin. His castle stands empty now, choked with vines. If legends can be believed, the High King was not slain, but retreated to a place in the far north, where he lies under a vault of water, with his knights sleeping until the day comes for him to return and bring the golden age of prosperity back to his people. Tales for children, you think sadly as you gaze across a countryside of weeds and blighted crops. The peasants of old Harkoona eke out a miserable existence these days, taxed almost unto death as they are by the cruel Utakin. You hear faint music coming from inside the castle. Interesting. If there is a tick in the box, if not, put a tick there now and read on. Fantastic. 644. It's our castle now? Well, the tax is a problem to pay. You see, that's the problem. But absolutely, I would certainly claim this if I was an adventurer and I came across it. Why not indeed? Inside the old ruin, you find a blind old man, dressed in ragged tatters that were once fine robes. He tells you his tale. It transpires that he is the last descendant of the household bards of the High King, and he still plays here in the old banquet hall, awaiting the day the High King will return. 500 years ago, the High King ruled Harkoona, and he defended it vigorously against invaders from Utaku. The Utakin used sorcery to imprison the king beneath Lake Rimewater, where he and his paladins were frozen in ice. His wife, and only true love, Leonara, was an Utakin princess, But the masked lords of Utaku, angry at her heretical love for the king, slew her and bound her ghost to serve as a merciless guardian jailer of the High King. Now she is a terrible spectre, the Ice Queen, whose heart is as frozen as the lake she haunts, or so he says. The old man teaches you the song he was singing, a love ballad that was sung at the court of the High King for him and his consort, Princess Leonara. Gain the code word evergreen. Interesting. I'm sensing that we have a quest. The Rime Water to the north. What do you think? Want to build a snowman. Right, so we have the code word evergreen. Nice, 574. Forget the king? Quest to the north. Let's take the castle. Where are we going to take it? Right, 574. So from here, you can go northwest, which takes us to the Lake of something Needles. I can't read it from here. The Lake of Seven Needles. We could go that way. I don't think so. Northeast towards Splatterdash. Northeast towards Splatterdash. All right, that looks like a sort of standing stones type of thing. East, back to the Singing Forest, which we've already been. South, which is kind of where we've been. Or west to the Ruby River. Frozen Lake Quest. All right, who's in favor of us going off? We're going to go and rescue this king. What do you say? So what I'll do is try and plot us the fastest course that will get us to the Rime Water, which I think would basically be going to the, let's see, northwest-ish, the Lake of Seven Needles, through the Icicle Woods, through the Ice Mine, and up to the Rime Water. Save the king. Rescue the king. We're off to save the king. Ha-ha! Save the king. Ha-ha! Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. All right, so we're going to go northwest, 328. Get the king. Get the king. Why do I feel like we're a bunch of goblins? Get the king. Save the king. All right, northwest, 328. Serious wizarding now, 328. 328. You are crossing a tract of wasteland, an old Harkoona, with the mountains of the spine of Harkoon climbing heavenward to the north. Give me dice rolls. Give me some dice rolls. It's good to be the king. Oh, that was one of my favorite movies. Top 1050 of all time. Absolutely. So give me some dice rolls. Long live the king. Okay, I'm looking away and looking now. First one I see is from Pedro Colsinho. Pedro Colsinho, is that how you pronounce it? Is the G silent? And that was a 7. So 7 is a good number for us, usually, but this is a traveling one, so who knows. 7, no event. So we're absolutely fine. 240. You spot, another question for you coming up, so be prepared. You spot a circle of ancient standing stones atop a rocky hill. Do we investigate or do we continue on our quest to save the king? Do we investigate the standing stones or do we save the king? Hail the frozen king. That's just insensitive phrasing, absolutely. Italian. Right, okay, fantastic. Colitino. Okay. Knock down the stones. Someone's got a destructive personality. Investigate. That's all I'm seeing. I'm going to go for that. 695. We are curious after all. We're going to go and save the king, but this is 695. He's not going anywhere. Let's face it. 695. What's this? Oh, wow. This, I've just discovered this. Sorry, this is a bit of a break. This is a friend of mine, a very good friend. I actually count him as my brother through friendship, not through blood. This is a character sheet that he made. This now must be a 20-year-old piece of paper. And it's just been stuck here in the back of the book. Wow. That brings back memories. Okay, sorry, distracted. Right, investigate the stand 695. 695. That's come with me all the way from South Africa. If I'd known, I could have saved some space. No, it's wonderful to find that. Such memories. The weather-beaten menhirs of the stone circle are inscribed with runes so ancient you cannot decipher them. In the middle, you find a stone plinth with a small keyhole set into it. If you have a verdigris key, turn here. If not, you can do nothing but leave. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Someone had a verdigris key at some point. Do you remember how we got it? I don't remember. It was found somewhere. 210. Okay, 210. Carrick had a verdigris key until it was stolen from him. If you remember. Lick it. Lick the standing stone, I hope. Yes, the key does sound familiar. You obviously watched the show. 90 people watching. That's fantastic. I hope some of you have joined us and got my message that the show was in the wrong time frame. I will figure it out. I will get the timing right the next time we do this, if we do it. All right, so here you go. Northwest into the spine of Harkoon. Northeast into the spine of Harkoon. West into the Grooms. We're trying to get towards the High King. So we don't want to go into the Grooms. Let's go into the spine of Harkoon and try and find our way across, I suppose, northwest. So we want to go northwest into the spine of Harkoon. 325. What's our scouting like? Not too bad. 35. Right. You come to a pass through the great mountains known as the spine of Harkoon. To the west, the mountains become impassable. But we can go north to Lake Rhymewater, which is exactly where we want to go, isn't it? So it now directs me to turn to page 320 in the Plains of Howling Darkness. So this is how these books work. If you don't know how these books work, I have anyway, 6 of the books. So here are the rest of them. Hopefully you can see them. So we've now got to turn to the Plains of Howling Darkness and page 320. All right. 320. Okay, I'm not going to update the map because I don't think we are going to stay here for too long, but you never can tell. You really never can tell. 320. Right. If you have the code word diamond, turn there. If not, read on. The 7th did come out at some point, Jason. You're quite right, but I can't find a copy of it, and I'm reluctant to order it if I'm in Japan. Space is a bit of a problem, but I will get it if I can, just for completion's sake. You have come to the ice-bound shores of the Rhymewater. The lake is completely frozen over, and the ice has a strange sheen to it. 3 sluggish rivers, thick with half-frozen water, debouch into the lake from the north. On the southern shore of the lake sits a small complex of buildings, from which smoke spirals into the clear, crisp air. It is the ice mine. So, I think we should go to the ice mine to try and see how we could get to the buried king. What do you guys think? I think that makes sense. 373. That is our quest. We said we were going to try and do that. 373. You walk into a large, functional stone building. Inside, a roaring fire gives a welcome relief from the freezing air outside. Several burly men sit around a long table, eating. By the door, a portly, red-bearded fellow sits behind a desk. He looks up as you enter. "Welcome to the ice mine, sir. I am Jalalul Thared, overseer of the mine, by appointment of the Court of Hidden Faces," he says politely. He tells you that the entire lake is formed out of solid ice, and that this ice has a peculiar property of melting at an incredibly slow rate. Indeed, a block of rime ice may last for for as long as a year. Naturally, there is money to be made out of this. The miners dig tunnels into the lake and take the ice across the mountains by caravan to the southern cities of the decadent Utaku. There, the masked nobles pay well for the ice, so that their sherbet, wines, and sorbets are nicely chilled. The mine also provides tours of the tunnels. Many lords and ladies of Utaku come here to walk amid the frosted walls. The tour costs 10 shards. Well, we want to basically go and find the king. He's under the ice. A tour would be nice. In the ice, I think. And we actually have money because we didn't lose it when we crashed. At least it didn't say so, so I'm sticking with that. All right, so we're going to go on this Rime Ice tour, page 22. Nothing wrong with a tour. Cross off 10 shards. One of the men leads you through the mine. The walls are like frosted glass, and the ice radiates a bluish glow that fills the mine with an eerie, wintry beauty. Miners work with axes and saws, cutting blocks of blue ice from the walls. You come to a large chamber where several tunnels meet. One tunnel looks black and abandoned. Not even the chill radiance of the ice lights its dark passages. "What's down there?" you ask. "Down there? Why, that's the old mine. It's abandoned now," says the miner. "Why hasn't it been flooded?" you ask. "We tried, but the water wouldn't freeze. It's an evil place. Haunted, that's for sure." "A ghost?" you ask. The miner just looks at you and says nothing. Well, we've got fairy mead, in case it is a vicious goblin. Yes. So I want to go adventure in his mines now. Well, there we go. Let's have a look. Let's go down the dark tunnel, 663. 663. Give me a roll, please. You step into the darkness. It is much colder here. A marrow-freezing, bitter, biting cold that reaches into your chest with talons of frosty iron and squeezes your heart. You must have a lantern or a candle to proceed. Otherwise, it is too dark and you must turn back. If you have a light source available, you press on into a maze of tunnels. Now, I'm not going to overrule what has been written here by Dave Morris and Jamie Thompson, because I think they were they're wonderful, wonderful authors. But I do recall being able to use magic to create light when we were in the sewers of Yellowport. So if I can get 3 people to remember the time that we were in Yellowport and it said you could use magic to create light, let me know. Use a spell, says Taisha. Do any of you remember the sewers of Yellowport, where it said that we needed a lantern or a candle or magic to light our way? Anyone? Otherwise I have to go and find a town to buy this stuff in. Use a spell. Get one at the souvenir shop at the end of the tour. I remember, says Kurt. Fantastic. Yes, mages don't need light, says Freddie. Oh, well. We were a bard at the time, that's right. Yes, good thing we're a mage. Light is a cantrip. Yes, in Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to say that we have a light. All right? If anyone has issues with that, now is the time to speak. No? Anyone have an issue? Any issues with us not having to... We're going to use magic. Yes. Right. We're going to use a spell. That's what we're doing. Okay. So, did you give me some rolls there? I don't think I asked for it. I need a roll now, please. Oh, no. There was some rolls coming through here. Right, thank you. I'm looking away, and I look back, and the first number I see is a 10 from C4 Dragon. All right, 10 from C4 Dragon. Thank you, C4 Dragon, for giving us a 10. Plus our scouting, that's 17. The difficulty was only 13, so we pass. And that gives us a 273. You come to a dead end. In the flickering light, which reflects off the frosty walls in a kaleidoscope of blue flashes, you see a panel of ice blocking your way. You hammer at it, but it will not break. There is a cough behind you. Wheeling around, you come face to face with a huge, heavy-set miner, his face hidden by a blue hooded cloak. At least you think it's a miner. His feet are bare, and they are covered in thick black hair. It growls in a guttural voice. "Long time since." "Since what?" you ask. Long time. I not see a man thing for long time. I used to dig for them, smash the eyes." The creature chuckles and hefts a heavy pickaxe in its hands. "They loved old Blue Cap, they did. Yes, good worker, they said." We ask Blue Cap to smash the panel, or we wait. What are we to do? Do we ask him to smash the panel for us, or do we just stand back and wait? You are food, delete your character and restart. We did it again. No, I hope not. I hope not. We need to smash the prison door. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to ask him. All right, let's ask him. 155. We'll try and play on that ego of his. 155. Okay. Blue Cap chuckles inanely. "Yes, sir," he says. A few air-crashing moments later, and the panel of seemingly unbreakable ice is a pile of gleaming rubble. "Payment now, please," rumbles Blue Cap. How much?" you ask. "Man-things pay 200 shards a job to Blue Cap." 200 shards for smashing one piece of ice?" you exclaim. "Payment always the same, whatever job. Smash ice, dig tunnel all day, payment the same," says Blue Cap. He hefts his pickaxe ominously. Yes, fireball! Well, we can't pay. We just can't pay. 562. Blue Cap roars angrily and attacks you with his pickaxe. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so I'm going to ask one of you, please, to keep track of Blue Cap's stamina. You can all do it. Just keep track. He has 22 stamina. 22 stamina. So if you can keep track of his stamina, I'll keep track of our stamina. And this is not going to go... This is going to be tricky. All right, so someone's keeping track of his stamina. Great. So give me a bunch of rolls. You're rolling 2d6. We're going to add our combat value to it. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So you're going to give me some rolls. We're going to add our combat value, and I'm going to choose a roll for us, then I'm going to choose a roll for him. So just go ahead and roll a whole bunch of numbers. His combat is 6, so it's better than ours. His defense is 6, so it's worse than ours. That gives me hope, but he does have a lot of... no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. His combat is 8, his defense is 6, and his stamina is 22. All right, so the first number that I'm going to see for our attack as we raise our sword and channel fire through it is 9 from Kurt Gavin. 9 plus our combat of 4 gives us a total of 12 versus his defense. 9 plus 4 is not 12, it's 13. So 13 versus his defense of 6. That means he takes 7 damage. So 7 damage to Blue Cap. The next number that I see is Blue Cap swinging that mighty pickaxe for us. That is a 10 from C4 Dragon. What's happening, C4 Dragon? That's terrifying. That's a combat of 16. So we take 4 damage as we get smashed by this pickaxe, bringing us home. Next, we return. Our blade of fire is no longer doing what we wanted to do, so let's just use some lightning. We'll just zap him with lightning. I'm seeing a 12 there. Yes, 12 from Taisha Fields. Absolutely. 12 plus our combat of 4 is 16 versus his defense of 6. That's 10 damage to Blue Cap. Is he still standing? Is he still standing? Let's see. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So let's look at numbers again. This is for Blue Cap. And I can't use the same 12 again. So we're looking there and we're seeing Ryan King gives us a 10 from Blue Cap. Oh, Blue Cap's combat 16. Our defense, that's another 4 damage. 4 damage down. We are now going to use, we can't use Lightning Bolt. We've done that already. We've got to go something smaller. So let's just use Magic Missiles. We're going to fire Magic Missiles at him all the way. I see a 3. From, here's Griffey, that 3 plus our combat of 4 is 7. That gives us 1 damage against Blue Cap. 1 damage against Blue Cap. Is he still standing? I've got a 5 out of 22, so 1 damage will put him on 4, I think. Yeah, Scorching Rays is a good idea, except it's time for him to swing back at us. I'm seeing Jason B. He gives us a 9. 9 plus the combat of 8 is 15. 3 more damage to us as we get smashed, slogged. Now, Scorching Ray back. I see a number of 11 from Freddie Ray plus our 4. That's 15 versus his 6. That is a wonderful 9 damage as we burn this little ice troll to dust. Dead. You charged 200 shards for blocking us and then dare to challenge us? I thinkest not. If you win, turn to 658. Ha! Stand on his corpse and then feel sorry because all he wanted to do was chop ice. Your opponent falls to your superior combat skills. No. Hang on a moment. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I've lost the page that we were on. Can anyone remember what the page number was? Oh, what a disaster. I usually keep my place. I was too excited. That was the problem. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Blue Cap, if you win... what was I doing? If you win, 248. 248. 248. 248. All right, okay. Crises averted. 248. Blue Cap falls dead. You can take his pickaxe if you want. We want. Thank you. We know of a certain island. Well, we don't. Well, he doesn't. Theophilus Shingen doesn't. But we know where we could get quite a penny for that. Pickaxe. Whew. Yes. All right. You press on down the tunnel. After a while, you come to a large round chamber of dressed stone, hung with banners. Flat stone slabs are arranged around its edge. Upon them rest warriors wearing golden armor and clasping long two-handed swords in gauntleted hands. They appear to be asleep. At the far end of the chamber, a stone plinth is raised above the rest. On it sleeps a man dressed in purple-hemmed cloth of gold. On his bearded and patriarchal head rests a golden crown which glints in the quivering light you have brought with you. His hands are crossed over his chest. In one he holds a steel mace, the head of which is fashioned in gold to resemble a flaming sun. In the other he holds a silver scythe, its blade fashioned into a crescent moon. It is the High King, sleeping through the lost centuries, awaiting the day of his awakening. Suddenly the temperature drops even lower, a sudden cold that threatens to stop your heart. If you have a wolf pelt, it protects you. If you haven't, give me some numbers. Roll some numbers quickly. Quickly give me some numbers. Yes, the legendary king was behind an ice block on a hot tourist spot. Okay, there's a number there. I'm going to look away. I'm going to look back again. Oh, and I see 11 from Mega Rock 101B. 11, and 11 is the damage we take from ice damage. If you haven't, lose 2 to 12 stamina points. Roll, and I saw that 11. I wish I hadn't. Okay, if you are still alive, barely, a smoky phantasmal shape appears in the center of the chamber. Her spectral white face is as blank as smooth as snow, and her ghostly robes, pale as moonlight, billow out behind her like a trail of stars. Taloned hands, like the wind-blasted branches of a winter-bound tree, clutch at you. If you have the code word Evergreen, turn to 9. You remember the love ballad that was sung at the court of the High King for him and his consort, Princess Leonara. Perhaps that might soften the frozen heart of the spectral Ice Queen, the ghost of Leonara, condemned by sorcery to haunt this place. Make a charisma roll. Give me a charisma roll quickly. And I'm running out of time. I have to leave at 12. I've got another show that I'm committed to doing. So quickly, give me some numbers. Let's see if we are. Sing. We must live. Okay, I'm looking away. Our charisma is 4. Oh, I'm looking back. First one I see is from Shingen Winterwolf. I see an 8. An 8 plus our charisma of 4 gives us 12. The difficulty we were looking for was 16. 2, 3, 5. Your attempt at the song is so bad, it only further enrages the Ice Queen. And so they see in the light of the day the love so fair. That does not go down well. You try to fight, but it has become so cold that you can hardly breathe. Your eyelids freeze together and you cannot see. Suddenly, you are struck senseless. You come round on the shore of the lake, but you have been drained of your vital energy by some vampiric force. Reduce your rank by 1 and roll a die. Roll a die, people. Just 1 die. Give me 1 die, if you please. One die. I don't know what that means. Okay. The result is the number of stamina points you lose permanently. Looking over, first number I see, Renato Lopez gives me a 6. I'm assuming it's not active at the exact same moment that this happens. So we go down to 17 and we have to turn to page 320. We are on the housebound shores of the Rhine Water. I am going to make a note here, and I have one last request. Do you guys want to do this again at some point? Is this something that you enjoyed that's worth doing? Maybe we can get back together again at another time. Unfortunately, I'm not sure when that would be, but is it something that you would like me to do again? I'll get the times right as well. What do you think? Leave me your comments and we can take it from there with this poor Theophilus Shingen. It really is tough, these higher up books, isn't it? Really, really tough to make any headway. Absolutely love this. Fantastic. Great. Nice to see you. 85 people watching. We've been going for 2 hours straight now. Yeah, I hope you can keep this as a video on YouTube. Yes, it will be. Absolutely. I imagine a lot of adventurers will die. Absolutely. Death will happen everywhere. It really, really, really will. Anyway, guys, I've been keeping my other players waiting, and it's fantastic. 85 of you watching. I do hope that you haven't just joined us because this was the right time that I had originally said. I can only apologize profusely for that. I'm watching the stream, sorry. I can only apologize for that most profusely. I did get the times mixed up. So if you have just arrived, we will be doing another one. That's a guarantee. We had 85 people just supporting and having a regular blast. So yes, we will see you again. If you've just joined us, watch the stream. I do apologize. I can't apologize enough. It must be very frustrating, but rest assured, next time I will do the maths correctly and we will take it from there. Anyway, to all of you who've been with me on this wonderful, wonderful day this morning, I thank you for putting up with the death of one character and the near death of another. Anyway, until we see each other again, I wish you the happiest of travels in the Fabled Lands. Now, I've got to do something like this so that I can close off the show and seem all professional. And I shouldn't be talking. Anyway, until next time, guys, thank you so much. Goodbye.